You are locked into member-supported radio 90.7 WNCU. You're listening to the WNCU Cares Artist Series with Marcus Anderson in the station. And that was Backseat Drivers. Marcus Anderson. I'm just excited. Let me take a, what is the woosah, bro?
The woosah.
I know.
Woosah.
In, out. All right. So limited edition. Mm-hmm. I could feel you driving. I could feel somebody in the backseat saying, "Yeah, go. Oh, you're moving too fast. Slow down.
Go here. Go there.
Go here.
Slow down. Go to the hardware store. I forgot a hammer." I'm like, "Dad, you got 3 hammers at home. Why you need another one?"
Just seeing how you can parallel park.
Probably. I back into every parking space. I don't know why, but it's a North Carolina thing.
Yeah, it is. Well, so this was created, limited edition was created in 2017. So this is one of your earlier projects, later projects. Next, I want to hear a little bit of something that's, what do you call it, earlier?
Yeah,
earlier.
Like my earlier title. After there was My Turn, and then after My Turn was NCCU. Then the next one after that was 2005, and then 2009 when I was out of school. That was From the Heart, and that was when I actually kind of broke through with a lot of different things because I won this jazz competition in Maryland called the Capital Jazz New Artist Rising Star Competition. Yes, and it was like they selected so many different artists from across the country. I was one of 6 that got selected. And I couldn't believe it because I was like, man, this is going to be my moment. It's like, even if I don't win, I'm just happy to get to be chosen. I think I was like the youngest during that time. I don't remember. I was 20-something.
20, yeah, right.
And then so I won the competition, long story short, won the grand prize at that time, which was like $5,000 and a chance to perform on the main stage. And like $5,000, I was like, I'm rich.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like a Dave Chappelle version.
Right.
But anyway.
I had to censor. Okay.
No, you don't have to worry about that with me. But no, I won. And then after that kind of helped me fuel like my career because most businesses, when they start off, they need like startup money.
Yes.
So that was kind of like my startup money that I could invest into an album. And then after that, I just pretty much flipped every album after that.
Yeah. I
took the profit, made another album, saved some, paid bills, and just kept reinvesting into like myself. So if I was a stock, I just kept reinvesting in myself.
Look, in part, so that was in part to your business because you studied business at Central as well.
No, I studied, but I didn't take the classes.
Okay,
jazz studies was like my focus, but I wish I did study business and accounting because a lot of the industry, like there are things that you learn about later, like taxes and paying taxes and what happens when you don't pay taxes, and then saving money and how to save and really what to spend your money on. And a lot of things I just kind of had to learn the hard way. And a lot of things I'm still learning. But, I guess business was like an unknown, I don't want to say gift, but an unknown known of me just wanting to like do more than, music. I love music, but then I want to understand like the business behind it too, so I can be free when I'm creating music. Yeah,
you've balanced the two, and that's important as an artist, as you know. I mean, you just said it. Well, I've followed. I remember going to some of your shows, just being there and just like, wow, that is my peer, and he is doing it on the stage. I mean, your energy is so beautiful.
Freedom.
That's what it's about. Liberty.
Yeah, because I always felt like, I never really was like my brother Marcel is like the singer.
Okay.
And that song, kind of cool, but I always watched like, Jackie Wilson, James Brown, Michael Jackson, Prince, and I was like, man, I want to do that. I want to be Usher, Neo, but on the saxophone, because I was dancing in high school and I was dancing in college.
Yes.
And I said, I don't really see anybody in jazz doing this. So I just started dancing with my saxophone.
Yes.
Because I already knew how to do it, and I didn't feel like it was gimmicky. It was just something that I loved to do and enjoyed.
A part of you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So is that what gets people?
I think so. Like, I mean, people love a show. I'm trying to find like a good balance now to where I don't make it too performance driven.
Okay.
Because like, I think at one point it got a little lopsided, and I love people like Prince and Bruno Mars and their shows because you have musical.
We just we're not gonna blow over that Prince situation. We'll come to that in a few.
Yeah, but people like him, And those guys, they understand the difference of like production, show, balance, and like keeping the musicianship there and the entertainment. Like you're going to enjoy the music and you're going to love the show at the same time that you'll sit for 2 or 3 hours easy.
Wow.
And just watch. So now I'm trying to do the same thing because I think at one point I had a good balance. But now I'm just trying to get to where like I want to make it more musical again. And not that it wasn't musical before, but it's like I can push myself a little bit harder.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that next project for sure.
Oh, yeah. I got a whole bunch in the can right now. I'm up to album 13 right now, and I already have about 4 unreleased ones that I haven't put out yet. So
the world is waiting.
Oh, man, I'm waiting too.
So when you were with Prince and that experience, that set you up. So I know you use it, or maybe use it as a model to fuel your own dream. So talk about that.
Man, first of all, when I got the call to play with Prince, I didn't believe it. When you get one of those voicemails and you can't really make out what someone's saying, so you take your phone, you put it to your ear, and you close out the other ear, and it's like, did they say Prince? There's no way they said Prince. And a buddy of mine sent Prince one of my YouTube videos of me dancing and playing. And at this time, I think like Maceo and Mike Phillips weren't really playing with Prince at the time.
Okay.
And he was looking for like a new up-and-coming young sax player. And then they sent him my video. They said he loved it. And then they wanted to kind of build a younger horn section. So like me, Lynn Grissett, Adrian Crutchfield, Joey Rayfield, all those guys are from North Carolina. And then we added in BK Jackson for our horn section. So there was a total of 11 horn players. But for our side, if you had a stereo horn section, you had one side that had 6, the other side had 5. And that was like the complete horn section with Prince. And most of us were like younger than 30.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I got that call with Prince.
And sounded seasoned.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I met Prince, this was 2012 summer. I said, "How you doing?" He said, "How are you?" "I'm Prince." I'm like, "Man, I know who you are." And I said, "I'm Marcus." He said, "I know who you are. I love your music." And I said, "Huh?" He's like, "Yeah, I love your albums. I love what you're doing." And after that, it just kind of changed my whole perspective because I didn't know that he really followed jazz like that. He had Mike Phillips, Candy Dofer, Maceo Parker, Najee, played with him. I'm pretty sure there's more, but then I was now in that category of jazz musicians that have gotten to play with Prince, and then he took a liking to me and made me kind of the featured saxophone player in his band. I mean, I got to record a jazz album with him.
Yes.
I got to be.
Wait, so that's released?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, I did put one of the songs that I wrote on the limited edition album. It's called Dandelion, and I wrote that when I was in Paisley. He liked it.
Okay, so we'll try to check it out. We'll see if we can have it. But this is before Prince. So From the Heart is before Prince.
Yeah. So
let's set up this moment. You're really I don't want to say it, sensitive, compassionate, emotional. You put your feeling into the horn, and you're playing it. I mean, you're saying this is from the heart. This is from the inner part of your being. So, okay.
It was where I was really learning how to take that energy that was inside and put it out through my music.
Okay.
And I don't know if you ever watched like Dragon Ball Z.
I do.
But when they charge up, Goku and Vegeta. Yeah. Well, I know we're talking like foreign language to some people out there.
Somebody knows.
But somebody knows. But they would power up, and it felt like that in music. And it was almost like once I get to that point, it was not a body experience. Okay. And I remember having that same feeling being in a jazz band at NCCU with, Dr. Wiggins, and just knowing like, oh my gosh, like I'm playing a solo, but like sometimes I wouldn't end where I'm supposed to because I would just get so caught up in the moment and not understanding what was happening and what was going on. Yeah.
That's that interesting thing about jazz is like we have to think and then put our emotion into it, right? I mean,
think, put your emotion in it, and then be free, but then also understand where you are at the
same time. Where are the chains? No, it's good. Let's just hear from the heart. Let's hear how you put your heart through this music right now. You're listening to WNCU Cares Artist Series with Marcus Anderson in the seat, listening to the music right here. Member supported radio 90.7 WNCU. Wow, I hear you singing over there, Marcus.
Yeah, I mean, you playing memories right now.
We better play some memories from the heart. Goodness. And I could hear your whole soul just coming through the airwaves. Thank you for sonically appealing to my ears.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're listening to WNCU Cares Artist Series with Marcus Anderson. Today is our featured artist, a local. Now you live in North Carolina, of course.
Yeah, I'm like on the edge of Raleigh and Nightdale.
Okay.
Yeah, a little further out.
Okay, not too far. I mean, I'm a commuter, so I guess everything's like an hour away.
I mean, I'm used to it now. I kind of like to drive. I can spend more time in the car by myself and with prayer.
Thinking about the next hit that you're gonna make.
Oh the next crazy idea I may come up with.
Exactly, you got that right. Crazy idea. When you heard yourself on Spotify, or like, I guess you were a Sirius XM first. I remember hearing you. What did you? I mean, you put in the what is it? You put in the paperwork. Of course, you have your song submitted, but then actually hearing yourself, what was that feeling like?
Man, it took me a while because everybody was hearing my music but me. I never really got to hear it until maybe a month after like my music was out. I just couldn't catch it in time, and then when I finally did, I said, "Wow." And I think I heard my music like walking through the airport or sitting somewhere. Yeah, and it's like, wow, that's really cool. But I still got work to do. Yeah,
so you had a lot of tours lined up, and you just couldn't have downtime. Is that
yeah. But I think it was more so, I didn't want it to go to my head and say, like, I've arrived and I've made it. Like, had I just stopped there, then it would have been a little bit different. But I didn't want to take that approach. I said, all right, I'm here. I've gotten it on radio. What's next?
Okay. So you haven't arrived yet. You have 13 albums.
I still have not arrived. I've not arrived.
Duke Ellington had like, what, 500? I don't know. He had a lot.
Probably, yeah.
I'm trying to catch up with that 13. So, goodness.
It's just more than like, it's music, but outside of the music, there's more to be done from what I'm feeling like. There's more mentorship now. With a lot of things, because I mentor a lot of up and coming artists and even like musicians. Like, hey, do this, don't do that. Like, that's dumb. I did that, and that was dumb. So now I kind of sit back and I think, I'm like, man, is this what Dr. Wiggins felt like when he was? I said it makes sense now. Yeah, I get it, Dr. Wiggins. I get it. Like, because I'm talking with a lot of people. Like, why would you think to do that? And
well, each one teach one. We have to show the way for someone.
We have to, because I care a lot about, the up and coming artists and musicians, and a lot of them just need guidance.
Okay. So do you have a class or some type of, is this just like
no,
mom and pop? I'm just going to teach you.
Yeah, just like people call me or they message me. Okay. I just ask a question like, what do you want to do? Do you want to be famous or you want to be successful? And based on like their response, I kind of go in that direction. If they say they want to be famous, somehow I still curve that into being success. Like, all right, fame brings you this, but success is that. Like being famous, sometimes people think is success, but no, there's a lot of successful people that have more money than famous people. So it's kind of understanding the difference between the two of like perspective and reality, and playing those two together. Like, all right, perspective is what you think fame is. Like, reality is like what the real nitty gritty is of like being a successful musician. It doesn't mean during these tours you make money. Some guys may do a 60 city tour and only make $200 a show when you should be making more than that. Wow. You should be $500,000 or $600,000, $700,000 a show. But it just really depends. It depends on the artist, and understand like where you are in your musicianship, who the artist is, doing research. And then, all right, when you get that, all right, how do you take your money? How do you, don't go buy shoes. Yeah. Don't go and just like go buy stuff. Like, save your money, pay off your debt.
There has to be a little amount of some type of room, right, to splurge just a little.
Oh yeah. Oh, listen, when I got my first check from Prince, I definitely splurged. I remember we got, because we had been there, and they said, don't ask about money. Don't ever ask about money. I was like, but we've been here for 3 weeks. When are we going to get paid? So when we finally did, man, the first thing we did, we went to the mall and we went shopping. And I had all these clothes in the checkout line. I looked and I said, I have about $900 worth of clothes. Why do I have $900 worth of clothes? So I took $600 worth of clothes back and only bought $300. Okay.
You still bought clothes.
I still bought clothes because, when you go, so long without having, automatically you want to get. Not have money. I want to get the things that I didn't have. I didn't grow up with much. I mean, I grew up, I bought a lot of clothes secondhand and, I bought the Walmart shoes. They were like $10, I didn't care. They were shoes, but it's like when you get to a point like now I can afford like some nicer things. I mean, I kind of understand now like why I did it because it don't really matter as much to me. I got a lot of the same shirts I done had for 5, 6, 7 years.
Oh, wow. You okay.
Yeah, because it's not like my mindset is different. Yeah. So like these younger musicians that come in, like I want like, all right, great, you can play. But outside of that, like your character has to be in place.
Yeah.
In order to keep this gig. And your finances. Because a lot of times people don't even hire you based on your musicianship. It's a lot of like more so your character. Now, that's not to say that being good doesn't count, because it does.
Okay.
But it's like if you get along with everybody, oh, he's a good hang. We can hang on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, that matters. That matters. You have to, the whole purpose of the word band, you have to have some type of commonality, not just the music, right? Wow. Well, you've been listening, ladies and gentlemen, to WNCU Cares Artist Series with Marcus Anderson, sharing his stories of road life, his journey throughout the music industry, and we have actually not even gotten to all of the songs yet. Hopefully we'll get to some off of every album, but certainly we've heard of 2 of them from the Heart and Limited Edition. Yeah. Well, I want to play another song from another album. This is entitled Now. I heard Now's the Time. It's now. So when you had the thought of naming your album Now, what was going through your mind?
Originally, the title was From Then to Now.
Okay.
Because it was like, I think it was the album after From the Heart. Maybe. I don't know. So many now. I lose track. But I said, no, that's too long. Nice. So we ended up short and said just now. Yeah. Like, this is where I am now. And it was just a statement like now.
That's it. That's all you need.
That was it.
Because that's all exists is now. Well, let's listen to it. Back to the Basics. Marcus Anderson at 90.7 WNCU. 90.7 WNCU. You're listening to WNCU Cares Artist Series with Marcus Anderson, and you just heard him on Back to the Basics, sharing, oh my goodness, the soul is coming through. I hear it. Every song sounds unique, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I do hear your sound, but the albums, all the albums that I've heard, they all have a different tone to them, a different flavor.
Yeah, it's thank you, by the way. My music is they're my kids. You know, I have 2 daughters.
I was gonna say your kids and your other babies.
But seriously, the music, I don't know, it's like an extension of me, and every album is a period of my life that I'm telling through the music, which is why no album will ever sound like the same. I don't think you can really compare any of my albums to say, oh, this one sounds just like the last one, because I'm ever changing. Yeah, we're always trying to evolve into someone better. Yes. So each album to me should resemble that. When you're growing, like your music should grow, or the sound of it should grow.
So does that mean that you are serious, humorous? I don't. You're more mature.
It depends. Like I am the biggest clown, but I'm so serious at the same time. Yeah. But then I'm almost like the biggest lover, and I want to give. Yeah. But then I also keep for myself at the same time. So it's like understanding the balance of all those, the yin and yang of like where I am in my space in life. A lot of times I sometimes feel like I'm in a wilderness. Okay. And it's not to like say I'm going to perish in the wilderness, but like I'm in this space to learn how to survive. And it's, most of it is mental. It's not really like physical when it comes to a lot of things. Okay. So understanding like, all right, why am I here? Why am I in this space? And not that the space is bad, but it's trying to figure things out, whether it's, family stuff, career, love, anything like that.
Speaking of love, is there, how many love, should I ask that question? I don't know. I mean, the songs that I hear, they sound like love songs. Even like the up-tempo ones, there's something in there with that's love. So do you have any certain songs that are dedicated to certain people? I know you have one dedicated to your daughter.
Carson, Layla's Joy. They get their songs. Yeah. Most recently, I wrote one for my sweetie, my love, a song called Crystal Clear. Okay. And you meet people and that you feel like make you better. That she's that. Like I was sitting in the studio and I was working on the song, and I gave it to her for a Christmas gift. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's smooth. I gave it to her for a Christmas gift, and I printed up like on a CD, like a single, and it was one of our favorite photos and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like that song is really like for her. She's an amazing woman. Oh, go ahead. No, she just kind of reminds me of my mom. Oh. Yeah. So.
That's real close. Okay. Yeah. Wedding bells out here soon? Possibly?
Well, I'm taking my time with this one. I don't want to mess this up.
Okay.
I don't want to mess this up. But yeah, she has my full attention.
If you or anyone that's out there listening that could give Marcus Anderson advice about
married people only. I only take married advice.
I've been enjoying this moment in time. We're reaching to the top of the set, but I want to play some more music. This will be an in between the albums now and From the Heart. We have Feeling You, and of course Carson's song. We have to play that before we get to the top of the set. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come back with Marcus Anderson on the next hour, and he's going to share that he has a comic book and animation, and we're going to hear a little excerpt of that. We're going to also hear about his coffee shop. We're going to hear some more things. So stay tuned, stay connected. You're listening to WNCU Cares Artist Series with Marcus Anderson, where you can find him online at marcusanderson.net. So make certain you go there now and get a little more idea about who Marcus Anderson is. Let's go to your album now. This is Feeling You, and then we're going to go into Carson's song at member-supported radio 90.7 WNCU. Welcome back to another great hour of WNCU Cares Artist Series with Marcus Anderson.
Who?
In the house.
Who's that?
Marcus Anderson. Oh, man, this is the music you just heard was from his album Hero, and that was entitled
On the Right Track.
On the Right Track. Why are you on the right track? Were you were you on the wrong track?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. You're such an artist.
I think like everything just kind of felt like it was lining up. You know, even like the album dropped in the midst of COVID, but even then it's still, everything just kind of still felt like it was falling into place. You know, I was getting ready to do like a 60 city tour, and I really wasn't wanting to go, to be honest.
Okay.
2019 was a heavy year, and I just said, God, I want to be home. I don't want to miss no money, but I want to be home, and I want to build my relationship with my kids. I want to be able to go to the coffee shop more and spend more time with my family and work on my relationship. Like that was my prayer, and all of those things have seemed to be coming into play. So it just felt like I was on the right track. That song, it's like you almost settled into the music. That felt really good. It felt like a car ride. Your music does feel like a car ride. That's cool. We can go to Wilmington, to the beach.
Let's go to the beach. Let's read a book while listening to Marcus Anderson, or let's drink some coffee. And coffee.
And coffee.
So did you make that specifically for, I'm going to have this in Starbucks one day, or a coffee shop?
I don't know.
That was your album. What year was that? 2000?
That was 2015, I think.
Okay, 2015.
2015 for that one. So it was during the time I was working with Prince.
Okay.
And we had a lot of intense rehearsals. So we would rehearse like 12, 11 hours. And then after that, Prince would want to go like see a movie at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
And that's with everyone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everyone in the band. You know, and at the time it was like an 18-piece band, so you know we'd all go. Like you don't want to say no to Prince, like he's saying like let's go to the movies. And I just like I couldn't find enough energy, and I was drinking energy drinks, and that wasn't healthy. So I got off of energy drinks and started drinking coffee. Drinking coffee sparked ideas to write songs and music because it's like a stimulant.
Oh yeah.
So so after that, I was like, man, this would be a really cool idea. Like, I like coffee. And like, I've always kind of gravitated in making business out of things that I like. Yeah. So I was laying in bed one day, and I just remember the thing my dad said, if you know, something you enjoy, try to make some money from it. That way you'll never feel like work. Right. And I was laying in bed. I said, what can I do with music and then coffee? Music and coffee. I'm like, oh, music and coffee. So that's like, and coffee. And I was like, and my last name is Anderson. Okay. So that's where the A&D comes from. So yeah, and products, you know, we got, you know, coffee right now. We're going to branch off into some other things later.
Is there a specific website that we can go to for, okay, what's that website?
They can go to andproducts.net.
Okay.
Yeah, and products with an S.net. Okay. And they got all the coffee on there. We got decaf. We got Jamaica Me Wanna, which is our vanilla caramel. We have our hazelnut. We have our bold. We have our regular. We have our morning blend, which is a little bit lighter but smooth. We got about 6 different types of blends. So definitely go to the website, check it out.
Yeah, so that's and coffee that's and products.
Andproducts.net.
And then we have marcusanderson.net. And not only can you go online and see Marcus and hear his music, but you can also go to his coffee shop, which is open in Rocky Mount, Monday through Friday.
8 to 4.
8 to 4.
Yeah.
And you just had a performance there.
Yeah, we did an outside social distancing unity event. It was about 125 people outside, and it was a mixture of my coffee shop and Lorema, which is our neighboring coffee shop, Mo and D's, Ben and Barrel, which is the wine shop.
Oh, it was a community event.
It was a whole community, the Chill Spot. A bunch of places. I hosted the event in our parking lot and said, hey, come out. We're just going to play music. Yeah, we're going to enjoy the times that's happening right now. We're going to unify because, I mean, during that time, that's around when, like, George Floyd, all that had happened. Yeah. And it was just, my heart was heavy. You know, I cried, you know, a lot. You know, just being a black man in America, understanding certain things and, like, where I am and, like, that could have been me, and knowing the times that I've been pulled over. And just thinking about, you know, what if that happens to me and I leave my daughters. So I just wanted to just do something to just unify everyone, because I was just seeing too much negativity in the news. I don't like negativity. It's not that I ignore it. I just like to counter it and be that balance of good, you know. So we're aware of a lot of things that's happening, but at that Unity event, we all just want to come together, black and white businesses in the downtown Rocky Mount area. So we did it. We'll probably do it again.
I think we need more of that unification for certain, especially as an artist. I think it's a responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, we play for a lot of people, and then, you know, sometimes you got to hit it at home. So
they don't do that anymore. Like, you know, like back in the day, you know, like James Brown and like Marvin Gaye, they had like all these events, these rallies where they would just perform, and it would be to bring people together, whether it was like to go against something they didn't agree with, you know, whether it was civil rights, war, anything like that, like music, and it would be hundreds of thousands of people meeting at one time, you know, like Woodstock or something like that, and people would just be playing music to unify.
Because it's that vibration.
Yes.
So what are you gonna do? You gonna put something else together?
I'm gonna try to save the day with music.
Okay.
That's why I created the Hero album.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Hero.
Yeah.
So you named it Hero because you are a hero for your children. You're a hero for somebody. Who are you a hero for, or who is the hero in your life?
God. You know.
There we go.
So, but the music, to me, saves people. And like, I don't know, the name Hero just kept coming to me. It was like last year. I had no idea that putting this album out would have some type of significance on what's happening today. So I wrote the album, but then I was also writing a comic book storyboard and script.
A comic book?
Yeah. Yeah, I created a comic book. Okay,
let's stop. All right, so we have this musician performer that plays flute, plays alto saxophone, writes his music, he sings.
I used to do splits, but not anymore.
And splits, dancer, entertainer extraordinaire. And also you have a coffee shop. And not only do you have a coffee shop, but you also have a comic book. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, the comic book came to me around about 2016, 2017. And I was going to put it out when I did limited edition, but I had not developed the story enough. So 2019, I really dove into it and started the Creatives Project. So the name of the comic book is called The Creatives. In addition to that, I took the comic book and created a motion graphic animation. Not me, but the team I hired. So it was kind of an intro into like me being in the comic book hero world. Yes. Musicians and creators, we all help save people and escape from like their day, because when you wake up in the morning, most people put on music or some type of tone or frequency to help them get through their day. When they're feeling sad or feeling good, to set the mood at dinner, you know, going to bed at night. It's when you put on stuff when, you know, you want to put the baby to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. I mean, it's music is surrounding, it saves people. Yes. You know, so that's why I think musicians, the creators, all of us kind of like are the heroes of the world. So we need
heroes and heroines. We need you.
Yes.
Come here. Oh, well, you know, I'm anxious to hear because you have the comic. It's on YouTube. Yeah.
The motion graphic animation of it is on YouTube. It's about 16 minutes long.
Well, let's hear an excerpt of that right now.
Yeah.
All right, here we are.
To build something new, you have to destroy something old. This world must be cleansed with a new vibe.
This city already has a vibe, Distort.
You can't stop me. I am the future of this city.
How much destruction are you willing to cause to bring about this future of yours?
Whatever it takes. You still don't understand the power of sound.
We only ever used our powers to help people.
And you can catch more of that excerpt on YouTube. That's Marcus Anderson, the Creatives motion graphic animation. What?
Yeah.
And you have to see everybody. You have to see your you don't call it an emotion. What is your character?
Yeah, my character. So it's based off of me.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, there's Sonar, who's
Okay.
the lead character, the lead superhero. He has this group of, like, if you want to say the Avengers, the creators. And then there's a shortage of like music in the world because that's what they kind of use, those vibrations to kind of help save people.
Wow.
So Sonar creates a copy of himself, which ends up being a distorted version of himself. And Distort kind of starts off helping them, but it says, nah, I kind of want to do it my way. And like tries to take over the world. And now the creatives have to battle Distort to, bring everything back into balance. Yeah, so
That's pretty heavy material you have there, sir. Okay.
yes, it's interesting. Like, wait till you see book 2. I'm working on that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be out top of next year. So
MarcusAnderson.net.
yeah, you can get the comic book on there. I've sold a lot of those. Like, surprisingly, a lot of older people with grandkids will buy like 2 or 3 and give them to their kids and like have them watch the animation. It's been really cool
Oh my
to
goodness.
see it happen. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you're sharing it's almost like you're giving a secret away in a way, and that's good.
Well,
Very good news.
No, thank you. But I think more than anything is to kind of bring attention back to like being a musician, to kids that may watch a lot of cartoons or TV like I did growing up. Kind of help them want to like be a musician. Oh, that's cool. Like, oh, they play this, they're using music. It piques the interest of it.
Yeah.
So there's the educational piece within that too.
I love it. Yeah. Each one teach one.
Yes.
That's what you're doing.
Love that.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to WNCU Cares Artist Series with Marcus Anderson. And we're listening to his album, Hero. And he is a hero. And he has a whole team of heroes and heroines that are forging through this sonic vibration. I want to hear this love song that you gave to your lady, Crystal Clear. Oh man, okay.
Yeah, I was feeling.
You were feeling.
I'm a lover. That's my core. I'm a lover all day. I love all my daughters, so I wrote a song about them.
Yeah.
I am in love. So I wrote a song about that, and I'm singing on this as well. I'm playing a melody. So I felt like when she came into my life, it made everything crystal clear. So
wow, put well. All right, well, let's listen to Crystal Clear. You're listening to Member Supported Radio, 90.7 WNCU. Yes, Marcus on the flute.
Yeah.
On Crystal Clear.
Yeah.
From your album Hero.
Yeah.
Wow.
Saving hearts, baby.
You better save some hearts. One heart at a time. Save yours and then save your divine loves.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna save hers first.
Okay. Did she cry when you wrote when she heard this song?
Yeah, there was a tear.
There was one tear.
Well, I mean, that's probably more. Yeah.
I'm surprised she didn't say I do.
Well, I haven't asked, so.
I mean, before. She's
Before
like,
that?
I just do. I do.
She probably did in her head.
Yeah. He's mine forever.
Yeah. I am hers.
Lovely. Yeah. Oh, we're about the love here. WNCU 90.7. WNCU Cares and Shares with Marcus Anderson.
Hey.
The love man.
The love doctor.
The love doctor. That's right. So what kind of things have you been doing since you have like so many irons in the fire to keep balanced?
Right now, just a lot of time home, with my daughters, taking them to the coffee shop, showing them like what's going to be theirs one day. So kind of teaching them about legacy.
Do they understand that?
Somewhat, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's hard to kind of grasp that, like, this is mine. Like, I told my my oldest daughter last week, like, do you know why Daddy works so hard? Because I never really had that conversation with her. And I told her, I was like, I'm doing all this for you. Like, all of this that you see that I have is not mine. This is yours. Like, I'm just working hard to build it up to pass it on to you, basically. And I said, because, like, I can't take this with me. One day I won't be here forever. So you got to kind of have those talks with your kids so they can understand the reality of things.
Yeah.
How
old is she?
Carson's 12, but just brilliant. So I think she gets it.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Layla's 10.
Yeah. Well, they seem to understand. They have a grasp about some things at an early age, and we often overlook that. But wow, thanks for sharing.
Yeah. I mean, I think like my oldest Carson, like we did an interview on Facebook one time, and after the interview, she said, "Dad, you said something earlier that I have a question about." And I said, "What is it?" She said, "Well, I don't understand the bad apple syndrome." And I said, "Well, I mean, elaborate." She said, "Well, if there are some people that are bad that are cops, and I'm not saying that everybody's bad as a police officer, but how can you have a few bad apples of those and not have a few bad apples of a doctor or a pilot? Like, they can't land 80% of the time or get some of the surgeries right. So, like, why is it this way when it comes to that?" I told her, I said, "That's a really good question, and that's what we're trying to figure out right now.
Yeah.
We don't have the answer, but we're trying to figure it out as a whole, as a society." She said, "Oh, okay, I was just wondering." I'm like, man, I wasn't wondering about that at 12 years old.
To think about that. Like, what are you reading, young lady?
She's deep, man. She is deep.
Deep as a well.
How deep is your love?
90.7 WNCU. Our love goes deep because it's here. You can feel it. I know I can. I want to hear something from this And Coffee. I know this is, when I hear coffee music or coffee house music, it puts me in a certain mood and a certain vibration. I'm hoping this music does the same. I know it will. I'm playing you all. I've listened to his music and it sounds great. Like, I just need to put you in my back pocket. No.
Come on there. I don't know if I fit. I've gained some weight since college, Serena.
I'm not saying anything. You paint the picture to the listeners. Well, let's listen to Cup of Joe. Now, you named Cup of Joe. You said, I'm going to just... Because most of your songs on your album are coffee named.
Oh,
based.
yeah, they're all coffee names. Cup of Joe is actually the single we put to radio, and it was my first #1 on Billboard.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
We hit #5 with the new album. We didn't get #1, but #5 with the Hero album. So.
But still,
yeah,
you're up there.
Yeah.
Well, we have a few PSAs that we're going to play, and then we're going to actually hear from both the songs. So I'm going to play them back to back, getting my words tied up. I must have had too much coffee this morning. So let's play that here now at 90.7 WNCU. You all are listening to The Treat in the Seat. Marcus Anderson at member-supported radio 90.7 WNCU. get your espresso shot by Marcus Anderson at member-supported radio 90.7 WNCU. That was an espresso shot for your soul. And if you feel like having coffee, go ahead and go to Tracks. It's located at, what's the address?
Yeah, it is 301 South Church Street, Rocky Mount, North Carolina, 27804. And it's right across the police station and right across from the train tracks.
Mm-hmm. Tracks. Is that why you named it Tracks?
Well, yeah, actually, I bought it with my manager and it was already named Tracks. Mm-hmm. So we just kind of kept it. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, we bought it. And I mean, we're going to eventually change the name at some point.
Marcus Tracks, music tracks.
Something like that. Something centered around music.
There we go. There we go. I'll definitely want to get out there. I know I went by there once. They were closed because I didn't know the times, and shame on me.
It's okay.
But I was looking forward to a cup of Joe and catching up with you.
Well, next time if you come and we're closed, just take your money and slide it under the door.
I'll do that. I'll put in a little manila envelope.
Oh, my God, not a manila envelope.
And label it for Marcus Anderson only. All right. So you're listening to WNCU Cares Artist Series and a good conversation with Marcus Anderson today about his life, his journey.
Great conversation with you.
Man, this is really fun. Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying myself. And
me too.
Time's almost up.
Mm-hmm.
But you have so many different albums. You have the R&B. You have, all of them are centered around love. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel from them. Mm-hmm. Another spiritual love, you created some gospel albums.
Mm-hmm.
So why did you I guess all through your journey then you came to My Inspiration? So what's going on with that?
So we talked a little bit earlier when it came to when I started off playing and me being in church and having that as the foundation for my music and like where the inspiration comes from.
Yeah.
Growing up in church, there were a lot of songs I listened to, some of which are on these My Inspiration albums that inspired me to do more and be better. So My Inspiration kind of just felt like the name to like put for these albums. And I'm like, well, I think I could do volumes of these because there's so much that I got, in church, from both the gospel and the CCM side. And My Inspiration Volume 1, Volume 2 have been doing great. Volume 2 is now nominated for a Stellar Award. Currently working on Volume 3, so we'll see if we can get that out sometime soon.
I need to spend a day with you just to see how your musical process works. Would it be cut and dry?
I mean, sort of. Like I have a really good team to where I can get it started.
Okay.
And then they take it from there and it gets back to me, and then I just do my whole editing, mastering thing like at my house, and how I record everything, all my saxes at home, so I can just take my time and really make it sound the way that I want to.
Oh yeah, that's what entrepreneur is for. You put the E in entrepreneur.
Yeah, artistpreneur.
Okay, you put the A in. I don't know. Okay, we won't. But we're gonna listen to from your album. I see Psalm 42 up here. I Surrender, but I want to play Addicted Love. Now, what do you mean by that in spiritual sense? Addicted Love. Now, is that Addictive Love? That's a cover. Yeah,
that is a cover from BB and CC Winans.
Okay.
Yeah, it was one of the songs that I listened to growing up. But it was one of those songs when I heard it, I was like, man, is this? It was like that crossbreed of like commercial stuff that you heard on the radio and like gospel music. Yeah. So there's like a deeper meaning within the song.
Okay, let's hear that deeper meaning right now. Addictive Love at member-supported radio 90.7 WNCU. Listening to that sound. Wow, Addictive Love. 90.7 WNCU, the sound of Marcus Anderson covering a BB and CC Winans classic. Wow, that sounded great.
Thank you.
Everything, I always say that sounds great because it does sound great. Maybe I'll find another word to say what great is, but it just sounds good.
No, thank you.
And that's from your album, My Inspiration.
Volume 2.
Volume 2. That's reached you said it reached the charts.
Well, that one, we did chart, but I don't remember where we did. But we are nominated for a Stellar Award for Best Instrumental Gospel Album. Hopefully we win. We'll find out this August.
Everybody, root for him, pray for him.
Yes.
You're so successful. You've been successful. You have 13 albums. You've come so far. You've been in the game for about 15 years.
Yes, as a solo artist, yeah.
So you've almost created an album a year.
Almost.
Almost. Wow.
Almost. We have we did the New Hero album live release and recorded that. We're going to put that out as a live album and a DVD.
Okay. And
then we just recorded this virtual festival I have a jazz festival I run in Asheville every August called the Marcus Anderson Jazz and Coffee Escape.
What date is it in August?
So it's usually, this year it was going to be August 7th and 8th, but we had to postpone it for a year to 2021, but that didn't feel right. So this year we recorded a virtual version of it with some local musicians here. My twin brother Marcel, A-Love, Brad Keaton, Showcase, Eric Duncan, and then I flew in Mr. Kenny Lattimore to be a special guest.
Oh.
And that's going to air August 7th. I'm making that announcement tomorrow, but you guys get to hear it first.
It's not what you know, but who you know.
Right. He's a good friend of mine, and he's incredible. And if you go to my YouTube page and follow me, Manderson Sax.
Manderson Sax.
Yeah, you can follow it then because we're going to air it on YouTube and on Facebook as well.
Okay. Well, we're going to do that. So can you let everybody know where we can find you for your coffee, your music again? We have about maybe 10 minutes left, maybe 9.
Yeah. We can you can go to my website, marcusanderson.net. Also, you can download the Marcus Anderson app on iPhone and Android. It's called Marcus Anderson Network. Also, if they go to my Marcus Anderson website, it takes you everywhere on there where you can get the music. The website is being updated. It should be finished next week. But you can still get my coffee on there and products.net. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Manderson Sax is all the same. YouTube, Snapchat.
Wow, you are a brand. That's right. Marcus Anderson here at the station. I want to play 2 more. I think you said B Maroon is from your Style Meets Substance album. And then I want to play the other one because we were getting around to different albums. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to just a different take on this music thing from Marcus Anderson. And he has about 13 songs, 13 albums, and more to come. And I just want you all to hear him. And you're hearing Marcus for these 2 hours, and I'm glad that you are listening at member-supported radio 90.7 WNCU. So we pulled up Marcus Anderson's B Maroon off of his album Style Meets Substance, and we'll come back in just a few. Thanks for listening, 90.7 WNCU. Be Maroon, Marcus Anderson, Style and Substance, the name of that album. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was my attempt of Temptation meets modern music.
Okay.
Just try to do something. I know what Dr. Wiggins always talked about, like the older music, like the classics, you know, the Stylistics and Temptations and all that stuff.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I mean, like a lot of that stuff, you know, even when I'm creating my music, and I got to say big thanks to all the staff at NCCU, you know, jazz department for helping make myself as a musician that I am today.
I'm thanking them too.
I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for the teachings here,
Yes.
you know, at NCCU. So I always tell people, you know, being and studying with Dr. Wiggins and Branford and Brian Horton, like all of that. Just,
Yeah. I mean, we definitely owe a lot to them because they've paved the way for our musical journeys. But you're listening to Marcus Anderson, and it's been a pleasure. We have 3 minutes, and I wish we had more time, but thank you so much for being in the station today.
No, thank you.
You brought so much energy here.
No, I'm honored that you asked me to come in. And
What?
hopefully, we didn't play too much R&B jazz for them.
Well, you know, the name of the game is we're changing things.
Yeah.
It's about an evolution.
Yeah.
And the music, it has a lot of different components, and we are bringing that to the station.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
We're here.
Yeah. Thank you.
We're currently listening to a song off of your Style Meets Substance album called No Worries. I'm going to take that all the way to the top of this set.
Okay.
And I appreciate you being here again. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Serena.
So we're going to find you on marcusanderson.net and products.net. And just stop by that coffee shop.
Yeah.
Stop by and say hello to Marcus Anderson, his brother. Grab some coffee.
Yeah.
Sit down and have a conversation.
Coffee and conversation.
And continue listening to 90.7 WNCU. Stay tuned to listen to DL up next on Afternoon Jazz. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a good day, good evening.
Yeah.
Bye, you all.
This is Wynton Marsalis. When you think jazz, Think 90.7 FM, WNCU Durham, and WNCU.org. I know I'm thinking it.